How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael Joyce. I'm the founder of EMOTO Supply Co. We're here in our Water Street flagship store in Tampa, Florida. I'm joined today by...
Hi, I'm Matthew. I am the head of dealer operations and service here at EMOTO.
And today we're here with two of our brands. We have the Jupiter Defiant Pro here, as well as the Rad Runner 3 Plus. And today we're going to talk about battery basics and battery 101 on e-bikes. And so we're going to give you guys some tips and tricks, best practices, common mistakes, and really everything that you need to know if you're getting into the e-bike market, how to properly charge, tips for longevity, whatever that might do. So first we're going to start today with understanding the different types of batteries. And so the majority of e-bikes today are going to have a lithium-ion battery. When you break that down, there's multiple different things to look for, and probably the first most important thing is making sure that the bike you're buying has a UL rating. And so the UL organization actually goes through and certifies all of these batteries to make sure that they're safe, that there's not the potential of it to be manufactured incorrectly so that there's a combustible event. Most of the mass-produced imported products on some third-party websites are not going to be UL listed. So just make sure a lot of the major manufacturers will have a UL rating. Rad does, Jupiter does. The majority of all the brands we sell in-house have that UL rating. It just means that the manufacturer has spent, I think it's $30,000 a battery to actually go through and inspect that battery to make sure that the battery is sound, so that when you have it charging in your apartment, you have nothing to worry about. So that would be the main thing, is a UL rated battery. There's also some new technology, which brings me over here to the Rad, which is called their brand new Safe Shield technology, which, if you are not familiar with the science behind a lithium ion battery, it's a bunch of lithium cells fused together. The only difference between a standard UL listed battery is that the Safe Shield technology, it's actually in a couple of our brands. Naxion, one of the electric motorcycles, has it as well. So I'm guessing over the next 5 years, we'll see a trend towards this, but it basically means that the individual cells of the battery have gel in between them, so that if there was a puncture or if there was any type of start of a combustible event, not all the cells would actually ignite. And so just an even more safe feature, but still, if you're getting a UL listed battery, that's gonna be by far your safest opportunity. So Matthew's gonna jump into the idea of range and what to look for when you're searching for a battery and how much range that you need.
Yeah, so when you're looking at your common bike manufacturers out there, everybody always wants to know range, how far it can go. The big two things you're gonna look for with range is your amp hour and then also your watt hour. So larger watt hour or amp hour is gonna give you longer range. It's really simple.
And most people just understanding there's always going to be a gap in the amount of range on an e-bike due to the pedal assistance feature. So really that is how much you're utilizing the battery. So the highest will be if you're on a very low pedal assist level and you're doing most of the work, versus the lower range number is going to be if you're using the throttle the whole time or you're on the highest ride mode and you're hardly pedaling along. And so that really kind of gives you an idea on the range. Next we're gonna go into is charging techniques. And so one of the biggest mistakes that we always hear on most of our platforms is someone will take it home, they'll plug it in and say, why is my battery not charging? So most all of these manufacturers have a safety protocol, the batteries, for the battery not start charging if you already have the charger plugged into the wall and are plugging it into the battery with it already being electrified. So what you wanna do is, it's an acronym, bike, outlet, and then outlet battery. And so the way that we walk through that is first plug into the bike, and then once your charger's plugged into the bike, then plug it into your outlet, and then do the vice versa of that whenever you're going to unplug the battery. So unplug it from the wall and then unplug it from the bike, just making sure that whenever you're inserting that charger, it's never electrified, and that really is gonna be the protocol. They should all charge perfectly fine if you follow that simple bike, outlet, outlet, bike.
Yeah, we have some tips for longevity on these bikes too. So with the longevity tips, I would highly recommend, storing these in ideal temperatures, not leaving them completely dead when you're done using them, and topping them off after each use. The benefit of topping them off after each use is that next day, if you didn't charge it off, you're gonna have a dead battery and you're not gonna be able to go riding. So you always wanna top that battery off when you're done using it. That way the next day you always have options.
And last but not least, prepping for weather conditions. We're here in Tampa, Florida. We were recently hit by 2 hurricanes this past fall, and I believe October and November, September, October. But a lot of people were impacted by storm surge, and as I'm sure if anyone was following the hurricanes, there was lithium-ion batteries that were actually igniting. We haven't heard of too many e-bike batteries specifically igniting, but regardless, if you have a hurricane or a potential flood coming in your area, take the batteries out of the bike and raise them up. Put them on top of the fridge, put them on the second story of your house. Just be safe. There's no reason not to have your e-bike battery elevated, and if there is flooding, it will also save that battery. And so that's probably one of the main things in that situation. And the other thing is really, if you live in really cold climates, try not to leave this battery outside for longer than, I would say, a month, 2 months in below freezing temperatures. They can go bad. And so really just try to keep it in a decent climate controlled area. And then really, I think the last thing is gonna be like common mistakes, Matthew, to go into things not to do. Don't leave it completely dead for a long amount of time if you wanna go into that a little more.
Yeah, like you said, we mentioned earlier in the video that leaving them completely dead is not ideal for the batteries. So if you want to, make sure that, like you said, you plug it in for long periods of time. And if you do decide to travel, go away for a couple months, they actually recommend going from like 40 to 60% charge when you're storing them. You don't want them fully topped off, but you also don't want them dead. So that's going to give you longevity of your battery.
Well, that's all we have today, folks. Yeah, just wanted to give you guys a quick overview. If you're in the market for an electric bike, we can ship Jupiter direct to consumer. So if you'd like, go ahead and look on our website. If you like what you see with Jupiter, feel free to reach out if you have any questions for us. If not, we can sell any of our 12 different brands in-house here at EMOTO Supply Co. in Tampa Bay, Florida. We're right here on Water Street. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below and subscribe so that you can get more tips and tricks on your e-bike purchasing experience. Thanks so much.